Hello, welcome to the Home-like Hospital Birth Conference. I would like to show you my presentation about midwifery in the Czech Republic from the point of view of the board of the Midwives Union. My name is Magdaléna Ezrová. I'm the president of the Midwives Union. First, allow me to introduce our organization. The Midwives Union is a non-profit professional organization associating midwives and midwifery students. It was established in 2005, and since then it has been developing the field in compliance with the latest evidence-based medicine principles. We enhance the care for mothers-to-be, babies, and the entire families. We provide professional support to midwives and information to mothers-to-be and families, and we approach them with respect. We are members of the European Midwives Association and of the International Confederation of Midwives. Now I would like to introduce our board. There are 5 of us. All of us are midwives. The board determines the values and the philosophy of the organization. As I said, my name is Magdaléna Ezrová. I am a midwife and I work part-time in a hospital and part-time as a community midwife. I'm also a PhD candidate at the Faculty of Social Sciences of Charles University. I focus on the anthropology of the body and birth. I authored a study comparing female circumcision and episiotomy, for example. This is our team, the core of our team, but there are many more people who cooperate with us and who support us, and we are very proud and grateful for that. First of all, I would like to say a few words about who a midwife actually is. There is a very precise definition in the Czech legislation. A midwife has a degree in midwifery. It is a 3 years bachelor program. A midwife specializes in the care for pregnant women, women in labor and after the delivery. But this is not the only thing a midwife does. Their competences are much wider and include the care for a woman's reproductive health or sexual health. And basically, a midwife can accompany a woman from menarche to the last days of her life. Women can benefit from the care of midwives throughout their lives. What we consider important in defining midwives is that they work independently, autonomously, in a professional manner and with respect. Independent work is quite common. A midwife needs to have a degree in midwifery, fulfill some basic requirements, and then they can work without professional supervision. Autonomous work is a bit different. It is not possible in the Czech Republic. It is what community midwives do, but as soon as a midwife is employed in a hospital, her care, the care that she provides, is determined by a doctor. So she can only take care for a woman when the doctor gives their permission. However, we consider the midwife to be the primary care provider during labor and after delivery. The midwife is the one who takes care of women during low-risk physiological childbirth. And only at the moment when the mother-to-be shows some symptoms of problems, the midwife consults the doctor. Depending on the severity of the problem, the doctor gets involved more and more, and then the doctor may become the primary care provider, but the midwife still plays her role, be it in assisting the doctor or providing support to the woman, explaining some things that the doctor does not have the time to explain at the moment. The midwife's role is to make the woman feel good, also in the difficult moments. There are some basic documents that we work with and that we observe. They are mostly from foreign sources. We have created some guidelines for care in midwifery, and these guidelines are also based on foreign sources, be it the guidelines of the World Health Organization, be it the position statements of ICM on various matters. As we are a professional organization too, what we focus on is lobbying and advocacy for midwifery, but we also focus on the care for our own members, which means that we organize various training events, supervision meetings, which are not obligatory in midwifery. As I said, we also translate articles, documents. We create materials and props for midwives, we provide legal counseling, or we ensure networking among midwives themselves, but also among women who look for a midwife. Here you can see some materials that we have created. There is, for example, a circular diagram, a maternity pass, or a brochure about acute conditions. It is a very useful manual for mothers-to-be, which gives them information about various acute conditions. The woman can find the particular situation based on the color code, and there she sees information or some instructions that they can follow, or that they can check to make sure that what they're doing is right at that moment. We also create materials for parents, such as a pregnancy manual, which provides respectfully important information to women and their partners. We also have an e-shop where we offer t-shirts or bags with various prints saying "Proud to be a midwife," "Midwife," "Day and Night," etc. What is important is also self-care. Our job is very demanding, and we sometimes forget to take care of ourselves. We sometimes need to relax or maybe put on something nice when we go to accompany a woman in labor. In 2014, we participated in organizing a congress of ICM in Prague. You can see the picture in the top right corner, various women holding various flags. And there is also a funny picture from the general meeting of the European Midwives Association. The women in the picture are the coordinators or co-organizers of the EMA meeting, and they are the members of the Czech Chamber of Midwives. Now, what are our projects? We have 3 main projects. One of them is the Perinatal Loss Project, then the Peaceful Birth Project, and the Where is My Midwife Project. The Perinatal Loss Project is a service. We support health professionals who encounter perinatal loss. We do not only provide training, or we do not only organize training sessions, but we have also used some outputs from the Starting a New project, and we have created some brochures which support health professionals. It is a communication manual for health professionals to know how to communicate with families who have been through perinatal loss. It is a demanding situation for health professionals as well. And this manual serves to help them lead the family through the situation. We have also created, together with the Mamila organization, a brochure about decreasing milk supply after perinatal loss. There is also an informational website, not only focusing on education, but also for providing information. So there is an info line which is available every working day for several hours. And this website and info line provides information and support to health professionals who encounter perinatal loss in their professional life. We place great emphasis on self-care in health professionals, on crisis intervention, etc. The Peaceful Birth Project was launched in April 2019 during the COVID pandemic. Its aim was to provide information. So again, there was an info line which women and their families could reach during the day. The project informed about the situation, which was very demanding. There was a lockdown. People were worried, women were worried about where they will be able to give birth. And that's why we launched the line, which was very successful. We also interconnected the service with the Pregnancy Counseling Center in our union, and the outcome is a website. The women can send us an email or call the info line, or anyone else, of course, not only the mother-to-be. The third project I mentioned, Where is My Midwife?, reacts to the lack of midwives in the Czech Republic. It often happens to women that they cannot find a midwife, or if they do, then the midwife is often fully booked. So this website is actually intended for the Ministry of Health, insurance companies, and the public, of course. We are very happy to see many midwifery centers being established in the Czech Republic. I think this is a good opportunity to explain the difference between birthing centers and midwifery centers. The main difference consists in the legislation. Birthing centers or houses are managed by midwives only. It is units managed by midwives only, which is possible in some countries, but in the Czech Republic the legislation does not allow it. There might be a birthing center with paid services, but there are regulations which prescribe precisely what the minimum required equipment is of such facility. And if the criteria would be fulfilled, the facility would actually be a maternity hospital. Midwifery centers do involve midwives as much as possible. There is important or great cooperation of midwives and doctors, but it is the doctor who examines the woman first, and then they allow, so to speak, the midwife to take care of the woman independently. Maternity hospitals in the Czech Republic have various approaches concerning the independence that midwives have. It is not harmonized, it is not consistent. There are maternity hospitals which cooperate more or less with midwives. Midwifery centers are exceptional because they bring together doctors and midwives to create some mutual synchronicity, cooperation, where they work side by side. I think it is a pity, though, that this is not a systemic approach. It is a pity that the Ministry of Health has not created a system which would enable every maternity hospital to use the services of a midwife. So basically, if a woman came to a maternity hospital, ideally she could get the best care she can get, which means that she would be taken care of by a midwife. We can see from various studies from abroad that this is important, because it is not only perinatal mortality and morbidity figures that matter. We have very good figures currently, but it is common knowledge today that health is not only about these figures. Health also involves feelings, the psychological aspects. Health is a biopsychosocial package, so to speak. So it's not only blood pressure, etc., that matter or that define health. I think it is great that doctors and midwives realize this more and more in the Czech Republic. For me, or for us, for our union, it would be great if this trend continued and if it became common and it would be applied basically in every maternity hospital. This is in line with our vision, which is that every woman would have their own midwife. According to our vision, every woman, regardless of her health condition and income, would benefit from the care of a midwife. Of course, the care would depend on the health condition of the woman, meaning that if her pregnancy was low risk, she would be in full care of a midwife. But if any risk factors would appear, or if any pathological symptoms would appear, the woman would be transferred to full care of a doctor. The midwife would still be there, however, and she would help her with things that the doctor is at that moment not able to do. For example, explain various procedures and provide psychological support. Involving midwives in the care system, be it community midwives or midwives in maternity hospitals or in midwifery centers or in birthing centers in general, would be covered from public health insurance. That would be the best model in our opinion. Midwives would then be able to accompany women everywhere the woman would wish, and this would actually help to reduce the number of non-assisted home births. Many women choose to give birth at home without any medical care because they were not able to get a midwife. Maybe they did not even intend to give birth at home, but they were not able to get a midwife to accompany them to a hospital. And basically the only thing these women want is to have someone with them in the hospital. They don't want to be in an unknown environment. Home births, non-assisted home births, are very risky for the mothers to be, and I think it should be in the interest of the Ministry of Health to prevent women from opting for home births without assistance. Midwifery centers will surely reduce the number of women who opt for home birth. But the staff of these centers actually do realize that there will always be women who want to give birth at home, and these women too do deserve relevant care. Now, my last slide. In our opinion, the main thing we need to focus on, and the main thing that would help us achieve our vision, is education, legislation, and the creation of guidelines for midwifery. These guidelines would define a framework for the midwives' activities. Currently, a committee for obstetrics is being established in the Ministry of Health, and this is one of the points on its agenda. So I hope very much that this vision will be achieved. Our union is actually a member of the committee, so let's see what happens next. Thank you very much for your time. Here I would like to show you a picture with Michel Odent. There are many of my colleagues in the picture with him, so I wanted to show it to you. Should you wish to contact us, here are our contact details. Feel free, we will be happy to hear from you. In case you wish to support us, we will be very grateful for that too. Thank you very much and enjoy the conference.